Hi, I'm Tim Barton and we're based here at Wadswick, which is between Bath and Chippenham in Wiltshire. And we have a farm here which is diversified in lots of ways over the years, grown energy crops and produced electricity now. My father moved here in 1968 from Cirencester, where he bought 411 acres here. When I finished agricultural college, I came back and we started diversifying. So my wife and myself started this shop about 35 years ago. The shop here started by selling potatoes at the door. This started in as a small barn right next to the farmhouse. It's grown now to, can be up to 450 customers a day. So we were growing miscanthus and multiplying it up for the rhizome to go on to other farms to be planted. The uptake of that wasn't there, so we had a crop there. We then decided to plant more because 22 years ago the shop was expanding and we were worried about heating costs then, which sounds incredible today, but we had miscanthus, so it seemed like the sensible thing to turn what we had into our own fuel.
Tim here and Wadswick have developed an operation that requires a fairly significant amount of energy in terms of heating and electricity. And the key that Tim has done here is to provide the feedstock for that energy himself. We go back to his initial investments in his miscanthus, which is there harvested year on year, so it is secure as a feedstock. And Tim's whole raison d'etre here is to take a basic commodity and add value to it. I take a crop that's in the field, and in terms of renewable energy, what do I do with it? I know, I'll put it in the bale and I'll put it in a biomass heater and then I'll heat my premises with it, rather than put the bale on a lorry and let somebody else sell it for you. And if you look at the electricity, if you think about your solar panels as a feedstock, it is doing the same thing as a crop of wheat. It's taking it and converting it into energy. That's what wheat does, but it just lays it down and puts it in starch instead. The whole issue with the electricity here is that I'm producing electricity. I'm exporting electricity to the grid. That means I'm only getting, at best, a wholesale price for it. I could get twice or three times as much if I use it myself. Now, how do I use it myself? Right, I'm using it here on the country store and my buildings around it, but actually I'm still exporting from my 5 megawatt solar farm. So what can I use it for instead? Now I'm thinking about using it myself for my EV charging. So it's all about using your feedstock and your natural resource to increase your margin so that you can move from wholesale to retail. It's important to CLA because a lot of their farmer and landowner members will have space to put these things. So whether it's biomass heating systems, ground source, and then from the electricity point of view, solar PV, it gives those people who have tenants, whether they're residential tenants or commercial tenants, the ability to add value to the rental values that they're receiving from them, because they can then sell them their own energy rather than those tenants importing that energy for themselves. A lot of CLA members are renting out properties that they will be concerned about trying to meet the hurdles that are coming at them in terms of moving up to EPC E and then D and C over the next 5 or 10 years. And one of the ways that they can increase their EPC is adding renewable energy to the mix in terms of either providing electricity or heating solutions.